There's also plenty of movement activity in the transfer market with that first bonus transfer window closing on Tuesday. Mark McAdam is back, and we've got some new news regarding a potential incoming for Arsenal.
Yeah, huge news for Arsenal fans.
Arsenal's summer business has been one of the most closely watched stories of the transfer window, and as the dust begins to settle on what has been an intense and carefully orchestrated few months at the Emirates, the figure drawing widespread recognition is sporting director Edu Gaspar. Once a figure scrutinized by sections of the fan base during the club's transitional years, the Brazilian now finds himself at the center of growing praise, with his work in reshaping Mikel Arteta's squad considered a key reason why Arsenal have been able to build genuine momentum heading into another demanding season. This recognition is not only coming from supporters but also from commentators, former players, and analysts who see in Arsenal's summer dealings the signs of a club that has finally rediscovered its identity in the market. The context in which Edu's role has been evaluated makes the plaudits all the more significant. Arsenal's transfer record in the years preceding Arteta's arrival was erratic, characterized by expensive deals that failed to yield lasting returns and by a squad composition that often seemed mismatched to the demands of the Premier League. That background of inconsistency had created doubt around whether the club could compete with the more financially dominant teams at the top of English football. But in recent years, and most prominently this summer, Edu has helped deliver a window that looks coherent, well-planned, and firmly aligned with the manager's footballing philosophy. Observers have noted that one of the most striking aspects of Arsenal's summer activity was the efficiency with which business was conducted. Unlike in previous years where the club was drawn into prolonged sagas or late window scrambles, Arsenal moved swiftly and decisively. This proactive approach meant that new signings were secured early enough to participate fully in pre-season training, giving Arteta the chance to integrate them both tactically and culturally. Analysts often highlight how decisive early recruitment can translate into stronger starts to the campaign, and in Arsenal's case, it was clear that lessons had been learned from previous seasons. Edu's fingerprints were all over that process, not only in identifying targets but in negotiating and delivering deals within time frames that benefited the squad. Critically, Edu's strategy has not been about signing players for the sake of short-term excitement but about building a squad with both immediate impact and long-term stability in mind. In conversations around the Premier League, Arsenal are increasingly cited as a club that has found the balance between marquee additions and smart depth options. This balance is considered essential in modern football, where injuries, fixture congestion, and tactical flexibility demand that squads are not just built around 11 starters but around 18 to 20 high-quality options. Edu has been instrumental in ensuring Arsenal's roster reflects that reality. It is also worth noting the financial management involved. Arsenal's approach in the market was not simply about spending aggressively but about doing so within a framework that avoided destabilizing the club's wage structure or creating future burdens. Edu's work in overseeing player sales and loan exits played a key role here. By finding pathways for players who were no longer central to Arteta's plans, he created space both financially and structurally for new arrivals. The days when Arsenal carried an inflated wage bill filled with peripheral players seem increasingly distant, replaced by a leaner, more purposeful squad. This reshaping, though less glamorous than unveiling new signings, is arguably one of the most important aspects of Edu's contribution and one that has earned him genuine respect among football executives and pundits alike. In looking at individual signings, the attention to detail and fit has been emphasized repeatedly. Analysts have noted that the players Arsenal brought in this summer were not just talented individuals but footballers who embody the versatility and tactical intelligence Arteta demands. This emphasis on character and adaptability has been consistent across Arsenal's recruitment drive since Edu assumed his current role, but it was especially evident this year. From players capable of operating across multiple midfield and attacking roles to defensive reinforcements that provide both quality and cover, the signings seem designed to give Arteta maximum options in a season where domestic and European competitions will test the squad's depth. The collaboration between Edu and Arteta has also been a major talking point in the coverage of Arsenal's summer business. Unlike the disjointed structures seen at some other Premier League clubs, where sporting directors and managers appear misaligned, Arsenal's leadership appears unified in vision. Edu and Arteta, both former players with a deep understanding of the club's culture, share a clear footballing identity. That synergy has enabled Arsenal to avoid the conflicts that can undermine recruitment strategies. Instead, it has fostered a sense of direction that supporters can see reflected in the team's progression. Commentators have argued that this alignment between the sporting director and the head coach is one of the strongest assets Arsenal currently possess. The plaudits Edu is receiving also speak to the evolution of his role. When he first returned to the club in an executive capacity, his influence was questioned, particularly as Arsenal navigated a difficult period both on and off the pitch. But over time, his vision and decisions have become clearer. The move away from stopgap signings toward a model based on youth, potential, and carefully chosen experience has reshaped the trajectory of the squad. Arsenal now boast one of the youngest but most competitive teams in Europe, and Edu's role in driving that transformation cannot be overlooked. From a broader perspective, Arsenal's summer window is being seen as a benchmark for how clubs can operate effectively under modern pressures. The Premier League's financial competitiveness, combined with the globalist nature of the transfer market, means that even wealthy clubs can struggle to achieve clarity in their recruitment. Arsenal, however, have demonstrated that with strong leadership and alignment at the executive level, it is possible to conduct business that not only excites fans but also strengthens the long-term outlook. For many observers, the credit belongs to Edu as much as to Arteta or the players themselves. Another aspect frequently mentioned in reports is how Arsenal's business compares to that of their rivals. While other top clubs became embroiled in drawn-out negotiations, missed out on targets, or appeared reactive in their dealings, Arsenal projected a sense of calm and authority. This contrast has not gone unnoticed, and it has contributed to the perception that Arsenal's hierarchy has matured significantly in its approach. Edu, as the figurehead of the sporting project, is being viewed as the architect of this progress. As always in football, success will ultimately be measured on the pitch, and Edu himself has acknowledged in past interviews that recruitment is only the first step. But the foundation he has helped lay is giving Arsenal the best chance to compete at the highest level. With Champions League football back at the Emirates and the demands of balancing European and domestic competition looming large, the need for a robust and well-structured squad is greater than ever. Edu's work has ensured that Arsenal approach these challenges with resources that are not only competitive but strategically assembled. The positive sentiment surrounding Edu is also resonating with supporters. For years, Arsenal fans expressed frustration at what they saw as poor decision-making in the transfer market. Now, the mood has shifted to one of confidence, with many acknowledging the clarity and ambition reflected in recent windows. Social media, which once amplified criticism of the sporting director, has become a platform where fans openly praise his methods, with hashtags and commentary celebrating his decisive actions this summer. This transformation in perception is itself a testament to how far Edu has come in establishing credibility. Former players and pundits have added their voices to the growing chorus of praise. Figures across the footballing community have noted how Arsenal's dealings reflect a club finally functioning at the level of its ambitions. This sense that Arsenal are now acting like a big club again has been echoed repeatedly in commentary, and Edu is being credited as a key driver of that cultural shift. The emphasis on long-term planning rather than short-termism, on alignment rather than fragmentation, and on quality rather than compromise is seen as central to Arsenal's re-emergence among the elite. In purely practical terms, the summer business has left Arteta with a squad capable of sustaining a title challenge while competing in Europe. The benefits of this depth may not be immediately visible but will become increasingly apparent as the season progresses. Edu's role in anticipating those demands and ensuring the squad is built to withstand them is a demonstration of the foresight expected at the top level of sporting management. For analysts, it is precisely this ability to think ahead, rather than merely react, that separates Arsenal's recent transfer strategy from that of previous eras.